So, some of you may have known that a few years ago I fell madly in love with the city of San Francisco.
Yay.
Yeah, adore it. Tony and I have been going up there once, even twice a year for the past several years. So, I don't know, about 6 weeks ago, I'm home with laryngitis. I want to get out of town. And it's spring, and we go to San Francisco in the spring. I plan a really good trip. Good airfare, one of our favorite hotels. Thought about things that we do. Tony came home, I said, I planned our trip. And he says, I don't want to go to San Francisco. I want an adventure. I want to go to New York. Whoa, okay. I was a little hesitant about this. I mean, New York, I love New York. I was meant to be a New Yorker. I was in New York for a very short period of time. My parents let me go to a summer session at Circle in the Square because they wouldn't let me go to college there. They were just afraid. It was too big. It was New York. They hated New York. But I fell in love with New York that summer. I began my formal acting training there. I got to know the city. And when I left it, I think I left a piece of my soul there. And I've been looking at New York through distance, through time, and through a very thick veil of romance. And I didn't know if New York was going to live up to my memories. So I said, okay, book the trip. And he did. So on Sunday night, June 4th, we're on the red eye on our way into JFK. We landed there early in the morning. We had a car to take us into the city, and I thought, great, we're going to see New York, especially, I hadn't seen it in years, he hadn't seen it since he was 11. Let's see it the right way, you know, from a car going into the city. And of course it was drizzly, it was foggy, couldn't see a thing until we exited the Midtown Tunnel. Boom! New York City, it's alive, it's vibrant, it's brilliant, it's still there. We dropped our bags at our Hell's Kitchen Hotel. I think that was the neighborhood that I always wanted to live in, so we stayed there. 10 o'clock, we left the hotel. We did not stop. We went to Rockefeller Center. We went to St. Patrick's Cathedral. I took Tony on his first subway ride. We went downtown to the financial district, had photographs taken with the Charging Bull and the Defiant Girl. We had lunch with Tony's brother. We went to the 9/11 Memorial. We went to the mall that is now in that area, went back home on the subway. Tony fell asleep on the subway, and I was suddenly thinking of Petula Clark. Don't sleep on the subway, darling. And I stayed awake. Dinner was deli and New York style cheesecake. The next morning, we got up, we started going. We went to Greenwich Village, my old stomping grounds. We went back down to the financial district in Battery Park. We went to the Statue of Liberty. We came back in. We had dinner followed by the Tony-nominated Sweat, which happened to be in the theater that was on Studio 54.
Oh, wow.
After the show, who knew? There was a panel, the cast, the author, Michael Moore.
Wow.
We went home. On the way, Tony had a slice of New York pizza on the way. Got up the next morning. The Empire State Building, Macy's at 34th Street, matinee, Sunset Boulevard with Glenn Close. She was amazing. We had dinner overlooking Times Square before we went to see something a little bit lighter. The parody of Hamilton entitled Spamilton, I believe is coming to Los Angeles. It's the same people who did Forbidden Broadway. It was wonderful. Then we were back on a train going back to the Empire State Building to see New York City at night. Okay. So, this brings us to Thursday. We overslept slightly, but that was okay. Back to Rockefeller Center, the NBC studio tour. I think Tony was happiest. I watched him. He didn't see me when we walked into the Saturday Night Live studio. That was very, very cool. We went one more view of the city. Top of the Rock, the top of Rockefeller Center. I prefer that view to the Empire State Building. It is absolutely marvelous. We came out, yeah, I wanted to do another play, but we were both tired. So I said, tell you what, can we go down to Greenwich Village for dinner? And it was wonderful. Little pizzeria overlooking the village. Walked around for a little bit. And I realized our time was coming to an end. I didn't believe it. It seems like we just got there. And the next morning I told Tony, let's eat breakfast, I want to take one more walk. We walked down to Times Square, back through Hell's Kitchen, tried to squeeze every bit of New York out of our time left. The driver came to pick us up. I think he was sent from above. He gave us a tour of the city on our way out. He had so much civic pride, a Sikh man. He told us, I love New York City. New York loves me. You will be back. When we got to JFK, I said, is he part of Mayor de Blasio's recruitment program? And then we're on the 767, lifting off from JFK. We're looking at the Manhattan skyline one last time as we headed west. And then we're back in Los Angeles. I was told before I left that New York was not the same place I left. I knew that. I was kind of scared about it. It's not. It's different. It's safer. It's cleaner. That gritty edge, it's gone. I kind of miss that. But it's New York. It's marvelous. It's alive. Maybe I left a little bit of my heart in San Francisco, but I found that peace in my soul I left in New York years ago. We're going back. Thank you.